help me welcome to the stage Farouk Systems 2013 Artist of the Year and 2015 Showman of the Year, Joe Anthony Pena.
Welcome back to world. How are you? We're laughing over here because I have the best absolute camera crew ever. So if you're having fun with what you're doing, you're in the right business. And I think I might have said this before. I don't know. I've said so many things, but this business, like you sit there and you wake up one day and you go, I chose to be a hairdresser. Well, no, you didn't. You didn't choose to be a hairdresser. You woke up one day and all your Barbies were bald. That's how it happened, all right? That's how it happened for me and everybody else. I had 4 sisters. They hated it, okay? You know, all Build-A-Bear, everyone was gone, okay? So all the hair was gone. But anyway, that's how you become a hairdresser. But even with that said, it's all the fun fashion stuff that draws you in, all the bright colors. I mean, we're just that type of people, you know. We really like, you know, high fashion things. And if you think about it, anything sparkly has always interested me. And I'm sure the same thing with you, too. So I like shiny colors. I like high fashion stuff. So we're going to have a little fun right now. And, you know, sometimes you reach a point where you're like, what do you do with a blonde? I mean, I know I showed some blonde on blonde in other videos, but this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do some high fashion stuff on blonde, but not only on the color placement is so important, but it's also going to be like, how do you protect the rest of the blonde? So it's very important for you to remember. So let's just draw out a few little pictures and show you what's going on here. So I'm going to come over here, and this is going to be the side of the head here. All right, there goes a little frame, there goes a little ear. I'm going to take it right on the break. So if you take a look at the drawing, and then you also take a look at the mannequin head, right here where the comb leaves the head is where we're going to be placing that color. And the reason why is because there's an overflow of that's the way the hair is flowing down. So now you see the way the hair is flowing down. So the hair that I color, which is going to be in this segment right here on the break, is going to be overlapping what's underneath, okay? So that's why I'm going to place this line like this. You can make it a ziggly line, you can make it a straight line, you can make it a zigzag, whatever you're going to do is fine. You know, whatever you're doing, just be fashionable, be creative. Can you do more than one? Of course you can. Do you want to add a few extra on the bottom? That's fine, but pay attention to your haircut, okay? Because we are coloring the haircut, and that's something that's very important, especially on this particular go-around, to show how that's going to work. So what will happen was these will come down like so. And then what we're going to do is the same thing you've been seeing us do, is we're going to be layering these sections. But what's going to happen in here is we're going to take it as close as we can to the scalp, but just staying off of it a little bit. And the reason why is because I want to just kind of keep that shadowed in there. And then underneath over here, we're going to do something different. We're going to place a protector. I'm just going to go right the C-O-N-D, because that's going to be conditioner. So the conditioner is going to protect the bottom and underneath parts. What's going to happen right there. And that's one of the things that people don't talk about. Like, everyone wants to show these high fashion colors, but you never see the behind the scene things on how things were actually protected and stuff. So I'm actually going to use gloves this time. I know you haven't seen me use gloves ever, but I do use gloves too, especially when I'm on stage, so those of y'all who've seen me. But underneath, what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, and I'm going to take just conditioner, regular old conditioner, okay? Honestly, if you use the cheap one for this, it's probably better because it has a little bit more fats, emollients, and waxes, so it fills the voids in there. But what's happening right now is hair is like a sponge. So after you get it wet, and whatever you fill it with, which right now I'm filling it with conditioner, it performs a barrier. So it starts to protect the hair from absorbing the high fashion colors, which we're going to be using next. I will be using foils on this particular technique because I wanted to create the separation of the hair that is not hot pink, because I'm going to use pink. I gave it away, sorry. But that's what it's going to be. You'll see it in a second. So we're coming in here, and right now I'm just utilizing a little bit of conditioner, and I'm protecting my ends. Make sure you don't get that on the section we're actually going to play with. And like I said before, if you're just joining us, this is actually working like a sponge. So your hair can only absorb so much moisture. It can only absorb so much of anything. So right now, if we fill it up with this conditioner, so when I rinse it, it doesn't like bleed onto here and it won't stain it. That's a really big deal. Whenever you have foils in the hair and you have the blonde pieces sticking out, I always make sure that we put the conditioner on the ends. And it's not because I'm trying to condition the hair. It's just trying to fill it up so that I have an even distribution of lightener going through from top to bottom. And we'll show that in other segment. I'm sure you'll be seeing that if you haven't seen it already, that we'll be sharing that technique with you. So right now, once again, what's happening behind the scenes, we're protecting the ends from absorbing any of the high fashion colors coming in. Rinsing this, we'll take our time with it. You'll be very careful with it, especially on a person. Of course, she's not going to complain too much. She's a mannequin. But here we go. So we have all of this going. Very nice, okay? So now let's get into the fun part. So I'll come back around this way and we'll start from the very top. Look at the where we have chosen for the placements, okay? So right in here, that one's jumping. It wants to go first. Look, right in here, what you're going to see is right when the head begins to curve. You know, I could probably even pull even a 1/4 inch even more. right there is very important, is where we're going to get the section. And I'll release that little Zulu knot there, and then it will allow us to move forward. So release this section here. I'm going to break the section up into 2 sections. So we have one that's breaking up into 2. So here it is. Bring it out like this, and then you'll start to see. We're going to have some fun with this. And I'll go ahead and use a foil. So pull this out, pick this up like so. All right, clip it out of the way. Make sure you dry your hand so you don't have any of that conditioner. It's going to mess up your technique. So we're here. And now right here is very important. We'll come in, we'll take a foil. And I like to use the board. It's very important. The reason why I use the board is because I want to push down onto that hair, you know. And I've been pushing this technique to you several times on several different occasions. The board is important to me because I like to push down. See how I can able to push into there? And you can actually create drawings and techniques and different stuff like that. But once again, this has been so popular. You can balayage with lightener. You can balayage with dark color. And now I'm coming in here and I'm creating this nice effect going in with a bright, bright hot pink color. You know, let that hang low like this. Make sure it's pushed inside there all the way. Now I take my next section down, but I keep the board in my hand. So watch what we're gonna do next. We come over here and we'll take this section and I'll start off from the top. Go ahead and pick it back up. See how we're picking it back up? And now we use it from underneath. And now we start to pull this again into here. This is going to look so incredibly nice. And one of the things, whenever you're choosing colors to place onto blonde, I always try to find something really fun and exciting. And you know, like I said, your eyes are drawn to sparkly things also. So I want the hair not only to absorb the color nicely, but I also want it to be shiny. I want it to have nice pigmentation and, you know, just really look good over there. So you see how I'm kind of fusing that into the very, very root area. I don't want to go all the way to the root. I just want to make sure that we make this happen and really make sure that you get enough pigmentation. I told you earlier, and I'm going to say it again. Anytime you're watching my hair color videos, you're going to hear me say it. Don't be that girl or boy that is scraping that bowl, okay? Go mix that color. They're paying for that color. Utilize that color the way you're supposed to use that color. Don't be cheap. They know when you're being cheap, okay? And another thing, okay, when you're switching around and you're moving, you know, because I'm talking to all my booth renters right now too, and my salon owners, everybody who does hair, I mean, it's just so important to realize, stay consistent with your color lines. Don't jump around and use 5, 6 different color lines. It doesn't make any sense. Your consistency is going to go away. And one of the things that makes you famous is how consistent you are with your applications and with your end results. It's so very important to do that. And remember that all the time because it's one of the most important things to stay consistent with a good color line that you believe in. How do you build trust within yourself? You have to have a product that you believe in first. So if you don't have a product you believe in, you're just jumping around, you have 7, 8 color lines in your back room. Guess what, guys? Who are you? What do you do? What do you believe in? You don't even know yet. How are you going to get to the next level if you don't even know who you are as a person? So find out what you're going to believe in first, then start to choose that next thing to get yourself into that next level. And that's one of the most important things I can share with you. I know you've heard me say this before, but I'll say it so many times. Success is intentional. You don't accidentally wake up rich, okay? We do it on purpose because of what you've chose to do and the people you choose to hang out with. I've chosen to hang out with this one color line, Farouk Systems Chi. I love it. It's a great color line, all right? It's one of the best color lines in the world. It's why I've stayed there for 24 years. But because I've stayed consistent with that product line, I'm able to be innovative with the product because I understand it. I know how far I can push it. Okay, you have that opportunity with other color lines also, but I happen to choose that one because I met these guys very young and they're very wonderful to me, and I've actually been fortunate to travel the entire world because of them. Farouk has been a wonderful person to me. So look what's happening again. We take this section here, we'll come up, and I'm going to make it very clear again before I continue that we're using the board so that you can have complete penetration. And that is one of the most important things, to have complete penetration. Look at the way I'm able to push down onto this, and this is going to be just beautiful. You know, when you get into something and you already know it's going to be good, you know, and I love saying this over and over again because when, you know, I looked at this haircut and I saw the mannequin head, I already knew what I was going to do with it. I already knew how I was going to color it. And that's another powerful thing that I don't think you realize you have as a hairdresser. You can see into the future. When a customer walks in and you stare her in her eyes, you've never met her before, but you already know some way, somehow, where you're going to go with that color. That's the beauty of being an artist and getting there. And listen to those voices. I say it all the time, especially when you're coloring. You know, I know it sounds crazy. People are like, what voices is he talking about? Well, if you don't hear them yet, they're going to come, trust me. Because what happens is as you dig deeper into your artistic ability and start to really study being an artist and being creative, all of a sudden you start realizing, all of a sudden something will be like, don't put it there, put it here, or make it this color, not that color. You know, you'll get to look at someone's skin, look at their eyes, and you know, and then really start to be creative on how your approach is going to be, and that's going to come all by itself. So as we're coming around, once again, I dropped the second portion of this section right here. This is our nice hot pink we're coming in. I love it. It's really going to be something that's going to really pop. I'm excited to show the finished result of this because this is something that really excites me. And it's probably, out of all of the color techniques that you can see on the video gallery, probably one of the easiest ones, but it is extremely effective because it's the Pinkaboo Color. It's where it comes out and just goes, hello, here I am, you know, and it's something that's really off tone for what the actual tone is. So if you're going to be doing this technique, make sure that you're having a complete difference in tones that really makes a difference on how the approach is going to be, and that's so very important. All right, so I'm going to continue working this around. We'll see you in a bit. Thank you. Great, welcome back. I'm so glad that we actually found ourselves in this situation right now because I believe in showing you everything, and there's been times, I'm sure you've seen it on videos, I'm sure you've been to hair shows when they show you something, but you never see the finished result or you don't understand how they got there. This is one of the deals right now. So watch what's happening over here. If you take a look, we finished applying all of the fun color on the interior part of our mannequin. It's very nice, you know, the technique we chose. And you can see here back on the picture where our placement was chosen. But I also want you to look back over here. What is all of this stuff going on? Well, that's for little places where the little pink happened to jump on top of my blonde. And what are you going to do? Rub it in? No, don't rub it in. Grab some lightener. We're not trying to blast it out of the water. Grab 10 volume and then just tap it on those little pieces as you're penetrating into that color. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just making sure that that top area stays clean, doesn't like absorb any of the colors, and all this little extra little blue spots that you see is just some of my lightener that I'm using just to kind of protect myself during, especially when it comes down to the rinsing, but more in the application because there was a few little areas where there was a few little pink spots in there, and there's one right there that I'm kind of dabbing on. No big deal, but this helps keep that area very clean and fresh, and that's what you want to do when you're doing fun colors. You don't want to see where some had bled onto the other or something mixed together. You want to really keep that fresh and clean, so keep that in mind when you're doing these fun fashion colors, and keep her clean. That's very important as you're doing all of your styles and doing all these fun colors. You know, we've seen this, it's been very strong, and I was just sharing with a friend of mine because people are concerned about how old people are to see this type of fashion. I have my girls in their 60s and 70 years old clientele that are asking for these hot pinks and purples and blues. Don't limit yourself on what you think the clientele should be for these colors. Make it available for everybody and have a good time with it. Have a good time with color and start making yourself some money. I love this business. I want you to love it too. So remember, my name is Joe Anthony. I'm glad you have the app. If you don't have the app, get it. All right. Love you guys. Hope you're making money out there. We'll see you later. Take care. This is Joe Anthony. Thank you. Bye-bye.